Hi there, beautiful souls. I am so excited to share this video with you today. We've created this very special episode featuring three incredible women, Katie Carlson, Katie Soul, and Barbara von Schmeling. But what do all these amazing women have in common? Well, they'll share their unique insights with us on spirituality, and they'll show us how it can transform our lives, especially in midlife. As you watch, think about, what does spirituality mean to me at this stage of my life? How can I cultivate more self-love and acceptance? Their personal journeys and lessons they've learned about manifesting, balancing energies, and loving ourselves deeply can help you get on the right path. This conversation is filled with so much wisdom and practical advice that I know it will resonate with you. Let's dive in. And remember, the path to inner peace and fulfillment starts within you. Let's walk this path together and make every step count.
The journey up to this point isn't wrong. It's brought you to this point.
Step into our true purpose. What are you here to do? People put rules. And I think when we drop the rules, we can have more fun.
You can create a really beautiful path of how you're meant to fulfill your soul's calling.
Allow your emotions to flow because emotion is just energy. Energy always changes. If we're doing the same things, we're not going to manifest new things into our life. We are manifesting all the time. Every day, we are manifesting. Things are coming in and out of our lives, consciously or unconsciously. It's just happening. So that's the first thing to know, is you already are a really powerful manifester because that's your natural state of being. And the way I describe manifestation is it's consciousness alchemizing energy into form. So consciousness, then the magic of alchemy, bringing energy, we're all energy, into form, into the physical, when we're really in the flow state. The trick, though, is that we have to go through a couple steps before we get into that flow state. And the two big ones that I teach are, one, we got to shed the shit. So we have to let go of all the things that have been holding us back, all those limiting beliefs, the bad habits, the dirty underwear in our drawer. I mean, anything that is old or stagnant carries an energy, and we first need to let it go. Second, we need to step into our true purpose. Many of us are living in a portion of our purpose. I certainly did that in my corporate America days and spent a lot of time just being a bit of a shell of my fullest potential because it was safe, it was comfortable. But every time I learned about human design or astrology or gene keys, everything pointed to, oh, but you're a spiritual teacher. You're not a corporate America girl, you're a spiritual teacher. So for me, I had to step into that purpose in fullness. And now I'm really clear on my purpose. If we're doing the same things, we're not going to manifest new things into our life. We start with shedding because we have to clean the slate. We have to empty out all the stuff that's filling up our energetic containers. So we really go deep in this in the work that I do because it needs to actually be a consistent practice. It's not a one-time, I'm going to clean out my underwear drawer, I'm going to let go of this limiting belief. It's something that you have to continue to do as you grow and raise your energy. So some of the things that are common that come up is we start with the little things because we're always trying to build the muscle of change. We don't start with the leaving the corporate job, leaving the marriage, and some clients do end up leaving bigger things and letting bigger relationships or jobs or careers go in their lives. But we don't start there. Why we do this shedding is because we're attached to things. And manifestation actually works on the principle of detachment. So when we can release the stuff, we're building that muscle of getting comfortable with detachment, which down the road helps us to manifest all these miracles that we didn't even know that we wanted into our lives. So I just wanted to connect all those
I love
dots
that.
because you
Thank
were
you.
already pinging in with the thread of it. And that is why we do it in a sequential order, because you have to build the muscle. It's just like, I think about it a lot. Like, I'm your trainer at the gym. I cannot lift the weights for you. Only you can lift the weights, but I can teach you techniques to build your muscle. I can provide accountability. I can provide a space, a container for you to get stronger. It's just like that, except we're not at a gym. I give different techniques, but the magic, I believe, is taking the elevator ride down from your mind, where your human self resides with the fears and the worries and the to-do lists, and into your heart, where the divine self resides, where your intuition and your inner knowing is. And the catch is that a lot of teachers will just have you do that practice. But what I believe is really the magic is you then, after you get all the intuitive insights, you take the elevator ride back up to your mind and you take action from that space. I call it taking aligned action. Because when we take action based on our fears and our worries and to-do lists, it's schizophrenic, it's anxious, it has this energy. But when we drop into our hearts, then ride the elevator back up and take aligned action, then we're taking action from a state of peace and bliss and in this higher vibration. And often we'll take different actions than we would have, or maybe we'll take the same actions, but they feel different because we've just gone through that practice. So if you're feeling really stuck and you're like, I don't want to write social copy right now, whatever it might be, just try that practice of just dropping into the heart. If you're trying to manifest from a state of lack, you're going to create more lack. So if you have limiting beliefs around time or money or resources, and you're so fixated on that, you are a manifester. You are always manifesting. So when you're in those states of energy, that's what you're going to create more of. And what we really want to do is shift your energetic state. And again, it's building a muscle. So you can't just be like, I don't want to feel this today and I do want to feel this. I wish it was that easy. But in my experience, it really requires building the muscle of letting go of all the things that no longer serve you and really refueling your container with good and nourishing worthiness, affirmations. We do something in my program called the Love List, and it's this journal, and it's only for you. And it's only for writing down things that you love about yourself. And we fill this journal up with 5 minutes a day is all we do on it. But you can do it at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day. I'm proud of myself for picking my kids up from school. I just love the way that I take time to caress my body when I put lotion on in the morning. I love looking at my smile in the mirror. I love taking that pause to see my beautiful smile in the mirror. Whatever it is that's coming through to you, as we're removing all of the stuff that is holding us back, or I know this is a terrible term, but it's like you're cock blocking your manifestations because you're just focused on all the lack. And we're diffusing that. We're letting that go. We're clearing your energetic field of the density that it's holding on to. And then we're refueling it with the light, with the love, with all of this beautiful self-love, self-worth, self-trust. One of the big things that I find is building that muscle of self-trust. Like when we commit to ourselves, it's a game changer. So even just the practice of filling out your love list for 5 minutes a day, you are teaching yourself, oh, I can trust you. I can trust myself. I am wise. I'm doing the thing that I told myself that I would do. And that's big. It's really, really big. So all of these different components really build upon each other. And in the beginning, we keep circling back to the shedding. We keep circling back to the love list as we move through the program, because they're all really important components. And it's just the formula that I found worked in my life, and that's why I teach it. And what I love is, I use this word a lot too, is we're building evidence.
Building evidence.
We're building evidence. So you brought up the word evidence. By building evidence in that love list of all the things that you did throughout the day, the way that you were resilient today, the way that you contacted somebody about your website today, you're building that muscle of self-trust over time. And you also brought up the inner child. We do a body of work through a meditation practice to access your inner child, because it is really important being able to tap into the little you, because you're an adult now and you get to adult yourself. But often we're still living from this place of like little me, who's looking for somebody outside to come in and say, you're okay, you've got this, like, I love you. And we're in this space of just like, where's that person? Where's that person? And we're looking for that external validation from society, from people, from places, from things, from promotions, from flattery, whatever it might be. And what we're doing through this is really learning internal nourishment. So moving from external validation to internal nourishment is the path. It's a really important distinction, but it's all about gifting yourself that love. And what's so beautiful is then when you're in a moment where you're feeling a little down, or you're feeling like, ooh, like I'm swirling, or I don't know where to go next, a beautiful practice is you can turn to your love list and you can just read it. And it works every single time, because it's like your pump up journal or your pump up song. It's really amazing, because then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a freaking rock star. Oh, how did I not know that 5 minutes ago? And it totally shifts your energetic state. It's so cool. I love the love list. And we have these beautiful journals too. I wish I had one nearby. I could show it to you, just because it's just important to have that as something. And you can make your own. You don't need one of our beautiful journals to do it. But dedicate that journal only to your love list. Don't use it for other things, just for your love list. When we start to trust ourselves on the small things, then we can trust ourselves on the medium things, and then we can trust ourselves on the big things. Yes, just in like final parting, just to know that if you're in a situation that's icky, if you're feeling like frumpy and grumpy and you just are like, I want you to know I was there too. And I'm not now. And you won't be forever either. And when you take self-responsibility, everything changes. So that would be my parting wisdom, is I know it'd be really nice if somebody outside ourselves just came in and just swept us up and took care of everything. And that's just not how it always works. So I believe that when we take self-responsibility for our own lives, we start building the muscles of trust. And whether you work with me or somebody else, find somebody that you can work with who's going to be a partner, who's going to help you with accountability, who's going to help you build your muscles of change. Find somebody that feels in alignment, because this work is not supposed to be done in isolation. Find somebody that's going to be a fit for you, that maybe they're only a few steps ahead of you. I learn from everyone. And sometimes finding somebody who's just a little closer into where you want to be can be really helpful too.
Every human being has both of those energies, right? Like we all have it. Doesn't matter if we're men or women, we have both of those energies. But the amount that we have or the amount that we tap into is what changes how we show up in the world. So, for example, masculine energy has a lot to do with taking action, with moving forward, with achieving, setting goals. And I feel, and I'm sure you might feel like that too, that as a woman, we have been bombarded to actually connect to that masculine energy. We have been conditioned to do that. We have to fit into this mold of achievement and success, and that is all related to masculine energy. Feminine energy, on the other hand, is more about love and nurturing and caring and empathy and connection, communication. So they are pretty much the opposites, but the world that we live in today really recognizes a lot the things that we accomplish through masculine energy. And sometimes I think also people have a misconception of what feminine energy is. We think being feminine is just maybe putting some makeup on and wearing beautiful clothing and now we're it, but it's not really what it is. And also some people confuse feminine energy with maybe a sensual and sexual energy, right? Which that is one of the representations and expressions of feminine energy, but it's not the only one. We have so many other expressions of femininity that we can bring into our own being to feel more complete and feel more whole. So the feminine energy really is that juicy, fun, flow, beautiful energy that we all have, but sometimes we disconnect from. When we overly connect to either one, we're not aligned, right? We're not in our own nature because we all have a sweet spot where we sit that we need maybe a certain amount of masculine, a certain amount of feminine energy, and it's different for all of us. So each one of us needs to find what feels authentic to us, right? Maybe you need more feminine energy than me for you to feel good. And what I mean with that is that to feel that you are still accomplishing things, but you're not getting depleted and exhausted and tired, and you can still enjoy it and you can still be in flow with your own life. So finding that harmony, right? Where you can have a certain amount of masculine, where you get things done and you enjoy that success and you set your goals, and also the feminine energy that comes in to make you enjoy all that. So if I can tell you, this is why I love this work, is because I also have this side of me that, yes, like if I'm going to work out, I'm going to do it. I train martial arts, so that is huge for me. The masculine energy is so strong in martial arts, owning a business, running a household, having a child, like all that. I can use my masculine energy to be able to do the things that I have to do. But then I need to bring that feminine energy so I can be the person that I have to be. So I usually say the masculine is about doing, the feminine is about being, right? Or you being more in that state of flow and ease and grace instead of just getting things done. So if you can combine those two, that's the recipe for, I think, happiness. Well, I think anything starts with awareness. We need to notice, right? If we don't notice, then we can change. So that awareness comes for me when I feel tired and I feel like, oh my gosh, like this is draining me. This is exhausting. That is a sign for me that I'm overly connecting to my masculine because I'm out of alignment with myself, right? Mm-hmm. But also sometimes I feel like, gee, I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm not getting anything done. That means I need to connect a little more to my masculine. Connection is an incredible way to stimulate your feminine energy. And connection can be with yourself, with nature, with others, right? Or sensuality, you being aware of your senses and connected to your senses, or just really slowing down. That's one way. When you slow down, just notice when you have a meal, if you eat really fast, you cannot really taste it. You cannot really enjoy. So when you slow down, you can enjoy more and you can taste more and you can smell it and you can feel it. So that's why maybe taking a bath is an amazing tool for you to connect to your feminine energy, because you get to relax, to feel on your body, bring it all to your senses. You maybe smell something delicious or you eat something delicious, right? And you watch maybe something beautiful. So all those things that help you to connect to your senses are a way for you to actually connect more to the feminine energy. Using your creativity, like allowing yourself to create that is the energy of creation, right? Feminine energy is the energy of creation. I mean, we create life, we create so many other things, and anything that we can do creatively will help you also to connect to that energy. There are a few other things, but I mean, I can share with you and you can share with your audience. I think that would be, we're very critical towards ourselves. Starting with that, we criticize how we look, we criticize how we act. We look ourselves in the mirror, we find everything wrong with our bodies and with the way we are. We want it to be different. I mean, I think I was actually looking at some older pictures when I was doing something for Valentine's Day for my husband. And we've been together for almost 18 years. So I went back 18 years and I'm like looking for like all these photos and I'm looking, I'm like, gee, like my body was like really cute, you know. But back then I thought it was like, oh, this is not good enough. And then now I'm looking at myself. I mean, of course my body changed, especially after, you know, having a child and all that. But now I have so much more love and appreciation for even everything that is happening right here, because I think that comes with maturity, right? You want to start loving yourself better. So one of the things that I sometimes tell my ladies, when you take care of you, when you take care of your body, it's almost like you're taking care of your own child, like, or you're taking care of someone that you love. So I believe, right, we are put in this body for a reason and we come into this life for a reason. So if I've been given this body, what can I do to take care of my body? And that can be, yes, I'm going to feed my body with the best foods that I can. I'm going to be mindful what I put in my body, what I put on my body. Especially now we hear so much about like, oh, this is toxic. And I'm doing this like heavy metal cleansing right now because I found that I had it on my body. So it's how do you become more aware of that and bring more gratitude and appreciation and care towards your own self? And when you start doing that, you start to love it even more, right? You start to be more in love with this body that you live in. And I think connecting to your physical body is maybe the beginning of you to started to even love yourself more and appreciate yourself more. But then, of course, what are the things that you tell yourself, right? When you look in the mirror, can you find something beautiful instead of finding something that you want to be different? I mean, we all have those thoughts. People put rules. And I think when we drop the rules, we can have more fun. It's never late. As long as we do something, right? It's never late. Like I've had women in their 60s and 70s coming to my events, and I have women in their 30s or 20s even that come. So it's never late because there's always something you can learn. It's so interesting how we make choices in our lives, right? Based on the things that happen to us. But if we can heal from them, right? And find that beauty and that freedom on the other side, that's when we're really happy and fulfilled. That's what I believe. We all, as women, we need to do some kind of work consistently to reclaim that because we don't really know how to do it. It's really about, you reclaim all parts of you, but you have to do it consistently. It's not something, it's like Tony Robbins says, you cannot go to the gym one day and now you're fit for life. It doesn't work like that. Everything you do needs to be consistent. And immersions, you do an immersion or you do something every single day, right? But now you can continue to cultivate that on your own because I cannot just tell you one thing for you to do. If I could, I would say, okay, slow down. Yeah, but I have stuff to do. So you need a little bit more context, right? Around that we do. So it's not a whole lot of work, but you have to be very conscious and very aware. Coming back to the body, I think that would be the first step. Moving, even like music, moving your body, touching, feeling. Like, let's say you take a shower. I love playing music when I'm in the shower. It really taking my time, washing my body. I feel like I connect to it. I give a little love, even to the point that I created a product that is an intimate anti-aging product for your intimate parts. Because I'm like, women, we just go and wash it and we leave and we don't pay attention to it. Start connecting to your physical body. It's just really putting yourselves first so we can show up better for others, for the ones that we love, especially.
Because one of the gifts that this gives you is that you start to understand how your energy is made up. What activates your energy, what depletes your energy, where you're meant to fulfill your life's purpose in this world. This is why I think when I talked to you, I was like, Jill, you're the reinvention queen. right? How many times have you reinvented yourself? Like literally this is in her design, people. Like literally this was in her design. And I was like, you're the reinvention queen. Like you have this ability to take someone, right? And whatever capacity that they are in or wherever they are and reinvent themselves in a place. And it's like, it brings them on to this, I don't want to say pedestal, but it takes them on like in a completely new trajectory of their life. But they didn't even know was possible or feel like that was possible. And you have this literally a tailored approach to do this in a way that will support other people doing just that, reinventing themselves. I mean, that's really what you're meant to do here. And you do it through many different ways. And I'm not going to go into like the deep down nitty gritty of your chart, but the biggest gift that it gives people is it gives people an understanding of what they've known deep down in their heart and in their soul. But it literally brings words. It brings practicality to how to show up best energetically for your family, for your business, in your relationship, in all different aspects of your life. And it's such a powerful tool. Well, when we interact with people in any day life, like when we come into contact with other people, a lot of times what's happening is we're like, you may have encountered someone at some point in your life where it's like, whoa, like I just feel connected to you in a very weird way. And I don't know why. And it doesn't have to be like, sexual or anything like that, but you've just found this like really powerful connection. And you're like, I don't even know where this comes from. I don't even know what this is. And a lot of times we feel it, but we don't know how to articulate it. So a lot of times what you can do, you can take your human design chart and you can actually overlap it with a business partner, with a relationship, with whatever. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look at their charts first and foremost to see where they overlap. Because a lot of times what happens is that they just have some energy that the other partner, perhaps their energy maybe is more dominant, or maybe the other partner has more dominant energy in a certain way. And when you can start to see the bigger picture of how this actually supports both of you, you can start to have a better understanding. So there's 5 energetic types. There's generator, then there's the manifester, and then the third type is a blend between the generator and the manifester. It's a manifesting generator. The 4th type is a projector, and the 5th type, super small percentage, is a reflector. Now, I'll give you kind of like a brief little synopsis of each of them really quickly. The generator, really big energy. People are naturally drawn into our energies, naturally drawn into our vortex. So it's going to be really important for generators to respond to the energy that comes to them. Like, we're not here to initiate. We're really, truly here to respond to the energy that comes to you. Then that doesn't mean that like you can't be, forthcoming or, put yourself in a position, but it's like truly responding to the energy. Like if you get an insight or a download or a hit based on being in a certain atmosphere or an environment, it's like, ooh, pay attention to that. You're in response to that. So like really leaning into that response is super powerful. And generators' energy, when their energy is in alignment, they're going to experience satisfaction. It's all about feeling satisfied. And this could be as small as like going and getting a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, but like there's something about having a latte made for me with cinnamon on top at a coffee shop that just puts me into satisfaction very quickly. And that brings me back into alignment. And when generators' energy is out of alignment, they'll ultimately, their first response is to lean into frustration. And doesn't mean they don't get angry or bitter or disappointed or anything like that, but it's just like their initial response is going to be frustration. Manifestors, on the flip side of this, they have very different energy. It's kind of like Moses and the Red Sea. Like they have this ability to kind of like part the energy. It's a very powerful like initiator energy. They're meant to initiate things. They're meant to like bring ideas into the fold. They're meant to pave their own way, carve their own path, like move forward in that sort of way. And manifestors and generators, I mean, we're all meant to work together in this world. Manifestors, when their energy is in full alignment, they're going to experience this inner peace. Powerful. It's really, really powerful. When their energy is out of alignment, they're going to experience anger. Like their first initial response is going to be to go to anger. And so I always tell my manifestors, like whenever you feel angry, like how can you lean into peace? Like whatever that means for you, like lean into peace and then allow that to unfold as is. The next type is the bridge between the two. So it's the manifesting generator. Manifesting generators have this ability to collapse time very, very quickly. They can move through things very quickly. Tony Robbins is a manifesting generator. manifesting generators oftentimes, it's like they know a lot of little things. It's like a mile wide and an inch deep. Like they don't really go super deep on a lot of things, but they'll bring in experts to certain things, kind of like what Tony does, but they can move through things very, very quickly. At the same token, as they move through things very quickly, they can also, make some mistakes and have opportunities to grow through in that process, in that part. The other beauty of a manifesting generator is it has this inner, when its energy's alignment, they're going to feel satisfied and peace. Like it's kind of a mixture of satisfaction and peace. And then when their energy's out of alignment, it's like that frustration, as well as anger. The fourth type is a projector. Now, projectors have their energy is very much in front of the body. So when you're around a projector, it can feel, especially for generators, it can feel very almost like it's a lot. Like it kind of feels like there's a lot happening here. It's a lot. It can feel like it's a lot. But understanding and appreciating the projector for being who they are, they can provide such wisdom and guidance because the projectors have this ability to see above the fray. They have this really powerful vision of seeing the bigger picture. And when projectors' energy, they're not here to initiate. They're truly here to be invited from an invitation. So when projectors project before being invited to, like a conversation or like an opinion on anything, it will not land, and they'll get really bitter because they're not being heard or they're not being seen. Projectors need to be recognized in a certain way. And when they speak before they've been invited, they're going to get really, really bitter. Another key piece about all of this, the only type that is meant to work, I know I say this with a caveat, long hours, is the generator. But the generator has to be lit up by what they're doing. If they're not lit up by what they're doing, they're actually depleting their battery pack. If you're doing things that you love, you're actually charging your battery. And generators have to be really smart about this. So all the other types, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors, they're not meant to work long hours. They're meant to work in cycles. They're meant to work like a couple hours on, couple hours off, couple hours on, couple hours off. Now that doesn't mean the generators can't work like that. It's just a different thing. And the last type, the fifth type, the reflector, less than 1% of the population, but reflectors truly reflect the energy of their surroundings. So they act as mirrors for us. And when reflectors' energy is in alignment, they're going to experience this element of surprise. It's like, wow, like this, almost like this awestruck, like they're just going to live in this state of awe. When their energy is out of alignment, they're going to experience like disappointment. And they're just going to feel, there's kind of like this, I'm disappointed in certain things. Not that it's wrong, but it's like there's this feeling of disappointment. So when we look at those different types and how those different energy types play along with each other, we all need each other. But it's how do you start to channel your energy in a way that's going to best give you your optimal energy to show up as you in the best light that you possibly can, and doing or being in the best, putting yourself in the situations that are going to be most beneficial for your own energy. You can create a really beautiful path of how you're meant to fulfill your soul's calling, right? Really, truly live out your purpose. And I will tell you this, when I work with my clients and I'm talking to them and they're like, you're saying things that I feel like I've known deep down, but I didn't know how to articulate it. And by saying this, right, it brings light to it. And if we bring light to something, we're bringing awareness to it. And then having that awareness, it's like, okay, what do you do with that now, right? You take intentional action that is from an aligned place. Are you satisfied? Are you peaceful, right? Are you feeling success? I forgot to mention that. Projectors. When their energy is in alignment, they experience success. It's all about success for them.
Yeah.
And so taking intentional action from an aligned place can make such a complete difference in how, you move through your business or move through your life or move whatever you're going through. What is perfect right now may not be perfect a week from now. And that's okay. You got to continue to check in with yourself, right? Recognize that's okay. Most people think of it as like, oh no, I'm second guessing myself. I'm doing this, doing that. And you go back on yourself. And that's part of your own process. It's part of you getting clouded by other people's energies. Take a breath, lean in, And literally think about it. So when your energy is more aligned, it's like second nature to you. Like you're going to have connections coming to you when you're like, where did this even come from? Like, how does this it's become so flowing and natural. And it can be through connecting in nature or through a natural way of connection, like with someone else that's coming into your vortex. Your environment is markets. Markets is all about, and there's external and internal. External markets is all about being in a place where there's exchange happening, right? Or an exchange of communication, information. It's all about like almost like bringing people together in a certain place, but there's a lot of comings and goings, right? It's like people, like from a business perspective, I always say, like if you have markets, like, you know, as an entrepreneur, it'd be really important to have like different ways in which people can like process payments through you. So like that could be like an eBay store or an Etsy store or, I don't know, some different ways to bring in exchange. Learn what not to do by learning what to do by learning what not to do, like very much like trial and error. The second like 20-ish years is very reflective. And it's like, okay, how can I own my craft? How can I like bring this together? How can I really come up and like be the person that that I'm meant to be? And then when you get to 50, it's kind of like this new era. Yeah. This like cocoon. I think because I talked to you before this, I think, right? It was like before. And the new era starts to open. And it's like this natural magnetism is going to happen. And there's like this inner knowingness that's like, you're the queen that you always knew you were. And people are going to be naturally drawn to you.